welcome back to the Reidel Law Firm Odyssey and Library channel. Today I want to chat a little bit about some of the top 5 questions we get from potential franchisees. So folks that we're helping review the franchise agreement and the FDD and whatnot. Before we get to that, if you need help with reviewing franchise agreements or any of your clients do, if you're a broker, let us know. Reach out to us. There's some details in the description there. Go to our website and find us and chat with us. We do this every day. I represent both sides, franchisors and franchisees, so I know all the ins and outs of franchise agreements and FDDs, so let's chat about it. So let's jump right into it. Top 5 questions. Wanted to share some of these and just some of my insight about it, because probably if you are a potential franchisee, you have these questions, and we'll chat about it. So let me check my notes here, make sure I get them down. So the first one I usually hear, or at least at some point in the discussion, is this agreement or is this franchise disclosure document typical? And basically what that's asking is, hey, is there anything in here that is out of the ordinary, unusual, something that's going to bite me in the butt? Something like that, basically, right? And frankly, a lot of the, probably 95, 98% of the franchise agreements and FDDs I read are very typical. Us attorneys who write these, we are not very creative. We're not very prone to risk taking. So we do a lot of the same thing. And a big part of the reason behind that is because it's so regulated, right? We have to have the same formatting. We have to touch upon the same topics by law. So there is a lot of continuity and a lot of similarity between FDDs and franchise agreements, which helps, right? It helps when we read them. We understand what's typical, what's not. It's really helpful for the industry to gauge what's happening. So is it typical? 99%? Probably yes. There may be some specific concerns or issues that we'll discuss that you have, which is great and fine, but probably nothing out of the ordinary in the industry. Now, there's different variations in different areas, but that'll be another video. So number 2, let's see. Will I make money? I hear this every so often. I don't hear it as often as I used to, which is good because I don't have an answer for it, basically. But will I make money? The franchisee asks, and my answer is, look, I don't know. I'm a franchise attorney. By my nature, I'm risk averse, and I have my own little businesses and whatnot. But for me, a lot of these franchise concepts, some of them I wouldn't think they make any money, but I've been proved wrong, right? And I don't tell clients do this or don't do that because of my opinion on the business concept. Do it because of your opinion on the business concept and the research that you've done and the due diligence. I'm here to help you understand the legal obligations to that, the legal contract, and the legal mechanisms behind the agreements. But the business side of things will be your purview, right? That or a business consultant or a broker or something who's helping you, because it's not something that I'm going to know. It's not. I don't know these industries intimately, and I can't make a business judgment or call on it as an attorney. So the next one is what is my risk? I also wrote next to it what are my obligations, because there's some kind of variation on those typically. And that's what we do, is we help you walk through and understand the obligations, understand the risks. Frankly, in franchise agreements, there can be considerable risk depending on the structure and how much capital you're putting into it, and whether there's a personal guarantee and whether there's liquidated damages or not. But at a bare minimum, you are risking the capital you're putting into the business, right? The money that you are spending to start and build and operate the franchise unit. Now, beyond that, you may have other personal guarantees or other obligations if you fail to keep the unit open, or you're terminated. You may face liquidated damages, or you may owe significant sums, whether that's mandatory minimums or something in the royalty fees. So there are other areas of risk that you potentially have, right? There are ways to mitigate that risk, whether it's in the agreement, modifying it, or outside of the agreement, things like wealth and asset protection, protection planning. So those risks can be addressed and mitigated, but there is no concept or no system out there, and really anything in business, that is risk-free. That does not exist. Get that out of your head if you think it is. It's a fantasy, won't ever happen. You will always have some risk, But your goal in working with us and working with anybody in preparing to become a franchisee or looking at your business from, later on in the future, is to mitigate those risks, is to find those risk factors, see what is most significant, what is most likely, and take steps to protect that, those instances from occurring. So next I have is how do I get out of it? So this is, what if it goes bad? How do I get out of my franchise agreement? What do I do? How do I leave? This is a long topic, and I've done some videos on franchise exits, so check out our channel and find those. But the quick and simple is basically you have three options, right? You have an option to abandon, walk away from the unit. That is not favored. That is something you don't want to do. That's tough. You lose everything. You could even have additional costs and damages beyond that. But it is sometimes an option that we have to take. The second being a mutual termination, so a mutual agreement with the franchisor that you are leaving the system, and you agree upon that path, right? Whatever that means. That probably entails paying some damages or some fees and funds to the franchisor, but it depends, right? There's a lot of variations on that, and we help with that, and it is something that's pretty tough, but we do it. We've done it a lot more this year, unfortunately. And we probably will in the foreseeable future for a while. But basically it's just getting in front of the franchisor and hashing it out, right? Negotiating those terms. So the final one, number 5, is would I sign this? And would I being me, Skylar Reidel Law Firm, would I sign the franchise agreement that my client is having me review? This is a question that I really can't answer because I'm not in their shoes, right? I'm not in their specific circumstances. But I'll give you the general answers. Would I personally sign franchise agreements in front of me? Probably not. And again, this doesn't go to any legal deficiencies or any type of legal matter or issue with the agreements. But I'm just not interested in really having those types of businesses, right? I am very risk averse. I am very independent minded. I wouldn't want to be a franchisee. I'm the kind of stubborn folk that would rather, hew my own field and do my own thing as opposed to taking a business in a box and running with it. So for better or for worse, that's my personality. That's my attitude. So would I sign it? Probably not. But does it mean that you should not sign it? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means that I'm a totally different personality and totally different mindset than what are typical franchisees. And that doesn't mean you won't be successful as a franchisee. I have clients who are very successful franchisees and who love it and who do some great work and just do some awesome stuff. But it's probably not for me. So is it for you? Who knows, right? That's something that you will have to figure out for yourself. And hopefully I can help you with that and learning about the legal obligations and the franchise agreement itself. But that is a business decision that will come down to your own mentality, your own personality, and how you want to work with folks and how you want to structure your life, right? How you want to go in and be successful. So that's it. Those are the top 5 questions that franchisees ask. I hope that's helpful for you. If we can be of assistance to you on any franchise project, reach out to us. And we'd love to help you and learn about what concept you're thinking about. So have a great one, and we'll chat next time.